After 6 years out of the Champions League, Arsenal are finally back in the Champions League, exactly where we belong. We've been on a hiatus for the last few years, but we're finally back in the Champions League. I'm kicking off with a 4-0 win, an excellent game of football. It's nice to hear the Champions League anthem at the Emirates again. The atmosphere, as you can tell, was amazing. And yeah, it was so good to see Arsenal back in the Champions League. And before the game, I was so excited to see us back. And yeah, hopefully we continue this. I don't want us to go backwards again and playing Europa League and even Conference League football. I can't. I would not. I don't want to. I don't want to see us playing Conference League football. I want to see us in the Champions League only. Um, so yeah, a 4-0 victory over PSV. Of course, we had PSV in the Europa League group stage last year, and we found those games really difficult, didn't we? And fast forward a year later, roughly, and we win the game really comfortably. So it shows how a year does make. Of course, PSV have lost quite a few of their crucial players actually. Like Gakpo, who's gone to Liverpool, Xavi Simons was there last year, and now he's at RB Leipzig, went back to PSG, until on loan at RB Leipzig. So a few crucial players they have lost, but PSV are still a good side. They still have a good couple players on that side, and with a lot of experience in there as well. And yeah, we seem to be really up for it in that game. Gabriel Jesus back in the starting lineup as well after having some little injuries and slowly trying to put him back into the side. Trossard starting out on the left as well. Of course, Martinelli was doubtful for the game with his injury when he went off against Everton on the weekend. So it was nice to see Trossard come into the side. Of course, got his goal as he deserved. Saka starting out on the right. I thought we would rest Saka in this game just because he's been playing a lot of football recently, and I don't want to see him risk with any injuries. And luckily, he did come off during the game as well to give him a little bit of a rest. So I thought we would go with Nelson on the right, just give him a run out. Of course, recently signed a new deal as well, so I thought we would give him the chance and to play ahead of Saka. But we went out really strong in that game. Mikel Arteta wanted to make a statement win and say, look, we are back in the Champions League and we're not taking this lightly. And remember when Wenger used to kind of weaken the side up a bit, put some of the youngsters into these Champions League games. But we want to win every single competition we are in this year, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta shares the same thoughts. And I just want to quickly talk about Sevilla versus Lens, also in the Arsenal group as well. That was a 1-1 draw, which is a good thing that both teams have effectively dropped points. So Arsenal, we can sit comfortably on top of the table. And yeah, so in that terms for us, it's a really good start. Now the interesting selection, as always, as it was against Everton as well, was David Raya in ahead of Aaron Ramsdale. Of course, there's been a lot of talk and speculation on whether there should be two top-class goalkeepers, and what does it say for the conference? Should it be? Of course, it adds extra competition, you could say, having two quality goalkeepers, and if one gets injured, you have one to back up, and having quality in every single position and in depth as well is so crucial. And Mikel Arteta has spoken really a lot about that. Of course, we have a lot of depth now in the attacking positions, in the defence as well. So Mikel obviously wants to have that in goal as well. But what is going to be key is to see who's to start in the North London derby. David Raya came in against Everton, which is such a difficult ground for us to go to, and in general it's a difficult ground to go to as well. When the crowd are on song, but with the whole ownership issues and a lot of stuff going on at the club, I guess it was seemed a bit easier, but we have struggled there in the past, and Goodison Park is a difficult place to go to. It's one of those grounds that you look at the fixtures and you go through the list and you go, Everton away, I'm not going to fancy that one. Obviously, where you sit as an away fan, it's literally just like right in the corner, and it's like a horrible. Of course, they have their new stadium coming next year. Hopefully, they're not playing in the Championship in that, because that would be a real disappointment. Seeing Everton playing that brand new stadium, and they're hosting a game against Rotherham in the Championship. So hopefully, in that term, that doesn't happen for Everton Football Club. But overall, Arsenal did dominate the game. I think defensively we were quite strong. That Bakayoko got on the ball quite a bit sometimes, and we was able to kind of shuffle him away and get on top of him. I felt David Ware caught everything, did everything he needed to do. The defense was solid. I thought Rice really did control at midfield, and I think we are seeing the £100 million that we have spent on Declan Rice. Obviously, the price tag is like a critical point for Declan Rice, but I thought he put out a solid performance. Still improvements needed to be made from Kai Havertz as well. I think he's going to slowly start to reap confidence as we win, but he just needs that goal just to kind of bring that confidence back into him. Of course, I still see the same Havertz from Chelsea, and I think he's still kind of bleeding that confidence that obviously Chelsea are lacking. And thing is, he was in an attacking side last year from Chelsea. He could just not put the ball into the back of the net. So him coming over to Arsenal, he's still having that. He's still getting used to the way that players like Odegaard, Jesus, Saka play, and he's still adjusting to that. So I would say I think we've got to give him about 5 games until we really have to judge and see how good of a player he is, because he's only played 6 games so far this season. So I think it would be unfair to judge him otherwise. Um, so far, I'm not convinced, but I think we've got to give him time to still adapt to this team, because, of course, the intensity that we do play at and the style of football that we do play as well, it's different to how Chelsea approach football, and just in general, it's a difficult way to play, and the amount of fitness that you do need it's a lot. So for Havertz to adapt to that, it's going to be quite difficult, um, which is where his fitness needs to improve, and obviously he needs to do a lot of running. And for Chelsea, he wasn't someone who was going to press for the ball, was he? He wasn't that sort of player, and he's still adapting to new instructions, new players around him as well. So I think there's got to be a little bit of cut slack off Kai Havertz. But I do understand where it comes from when you're spending £65 million for attacking midfielder, when there's plenty of other attacking midfielders or players in that sort of position that are cheaper or maybe the same price but are playing better and are more proven, if that makes sense. And obviously in the attack, it was just flying, causing PSV so many problems down the centre, out wide. Odegaard having a really good game, dictating the play as he always does, and once again proving to be one of the best creative midfielders in the world. Saka playing well on the right side. Every time we got on that ball, I can't remember who the left back's name is, but every time we got that ball, the left back was just running backwards. And that was the difference between him and Bakayoko on the right hand side, where Bakayoko would get the ball, but was confident enough to win the ball back. He wasn't really doing much, and he was whipping balls into the box, and there's just no one there. But Saka, every time we got into that ball, that left back was just going backwards. Trossard was great on the left hand side, took his goal really well. Jesus as well took his goal really well, and of course, coming back from an injury, it's going to be really difficult for him to kind of adjust, and we've slowly put him back into the side. Of course, Eddie Nketiah has been playing quite well this season, obviously with 2 goals so far this season. So for him, it'd be unfair to drop Eddie Nketiah after his good form. But I think we will start to see Jesus starting more now, especially against Tottenham, where we need that leadership, that intensity going into that sort of fixture. And of course, a 4-0 win, goals being scored, controlling the game as well, with a lot of possession, a lot of shots, a clean sheet, and giving us a lot of confidence going into that North London derby. Of course, performance, how well you're playing, goes out the window in those sort of fixtures. Tottenham playing really, really well with a new brand of attacking football under Ange Postecoglou, and it's gonna be a really, really top game. 2 sides basically on the same points, looking to aim for the same thing as well, which is the Premier League title. Obviously, very early to say if Tottenham will be aiming to win the title, same with Arsenal, same with any team really. It's only been 5 games into the season. But again, it gives you a little bit of confidence going into that game, although that sort of stuff with the confidence goes out the window in those sort of games. It's going to be really exciting to see that game happen on Sunday, and I'll be doing a preview for that game. I'm so excited for that game, but nervous at the same time. It's always nervous in these sort of games because you just want to get out there with the 3 points and move on, sort of thing. But you're also excited to, go and test Tottenham and obviously beat Tottenham as well. And it's always nice to see a Tottenham loss. But yeah, so that's just overall my roundup of the game. I thought we played really, really well. We did everything we really did. Didn't put a foot wrong. I thought that PSV didn't really threaten us as much as well. So overall, I thought it was a positive performance from everyone as well. And nice to see Smith Rowe come onto the pitch at the end as well. Hasn't played this season at all, but it's nice to see him in the squad playing, and hopefully we do see him playing a lot more. Of course, coming out from a really long injury, so do expect him to be eased in as well. A bit like when Martinelli wasn't playing at the start of Mikel Arteta's reign at Arsenal, and he was just slowly being adjusted back into the squad. And look at where Martinelli is now, and I can't wait to see Emile Smith Rowe back into the squad because he's one of our top players, and he hasn't really been able to show up for the past year because he's been out on the sideline. And of course impressing for England. Was it the under 20s, under 21s in the summer? So that's it. That's all for the Arsenal versus PSV review game. And let me know what you guys think of the Arsenal performance down below in the comments, and I will see you over there. Make sure you do follow the TikTok for little clips coming up, some exclusive clips going up as well. And yeah, like, subscribe, turn the notifications on for more videos like this. And peace. Thank you very much for watching.